Marley Rieger is 14. As soon as she is old enough, this Strathmore figure skater hopes to go to the Olympics. Marley devotes 5 days a week for 3.5 hours of on-ice training and 1 hour of fitness each day. She also does ballet for an hour and a half 3 nights a week. On the weekends, Marley catches up on her studies at home where she is homeschooled.
I don't feel like it.
So what is it that keeps this girl so driven? A main force has been her family. Not her mother, not her father. Instead, grandparents, aunts, and uncles have stepped in to not only raise Marley and her big sister, but to help them realize big dreams.
Marley came to our house when she was a year and a month old, and she's lived with us ever since, her and her sister, and it's been a pleasure to have her around. She's a good kid, a little wild once in a while, but other than that, good.
Okay, enough.
Their mother was living with another guy, and that's how these two came about. And when she was expecting Marley, she was starting to be physically abused, so we finally got her out of there. She come and lived with us for 7 years, and then she disappeared.
Marley and her sister Bailey grew to know their grandparents as mom and dad. They put her into skating when she was 4 years old. She immediately took to the sport.
She could skate by herself or move by herself. When she fell, she'd get up by herself. And I figured, holy cow, like this is unreal. In a half an hour, she can do this. She just loved it. She couldn't wait to go back the next week.
I figured out what I wanted to do when I was young, so kind of just continued that plan.
As Marley became more competitive, her skating schedule became much busier. Archie, Aunt Colette, and Uncle Zach and Sister Bailey all helped out. But her Grandma Arlene, mom to Marley, was the one who was with her most of the time, driving her to practices and competitions, keeping her focused, keeping her motivated to do her best.
We were very close. We were like best friends, I guess. And she'd always take me skating, like every day. She'd watch all day. It'd be fun, and then sometimes we'd go to the mall after.
2 years ago, Arlene passed away after a 5-month struggle with cancer that took over her entire body. Since then, Marley's Aunt Colette and her Uncle Zach have stepped up even more. They took Marley into their home. Colette now oversees Marley's whirlwind schedule.
Mom was always our biggest cheerleader. I think it taught her to be very hardworking, serious. If you're going to do something, do it to the best of your ability. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you have to do it to the best of your ability. I've tried to keep that going. She's had all the right people in place to help her get to that goal so that she could do what she wanted to do, and she has all the support. We all love her and do what needs to be done for her to do what she wants to do. And it's in her heart. It is so in her heart.
Not only does Marley have great support at home, but she also gets it on the ice.
I skated with my wife, Annabelle Langlois. We did pairs together for 6 years. We were the national champions in 2008, 3-time world team members, and we were Olympic team members in 2010. Well, so when you're training athletes, I mean, you get them at all levels, and you can see potential at different ages. And there's certain things that can be taught. The things that you can't really teach and that you look for and strive for in a competitive athlete is mental strength and an attitude of wanting to be the best and of not being afraid of failure or of hurting themselves. And for Marley, she has that in spades.
However, this level of dedication comes with sacrifice. Marley is at the rink 22.5 hours a week, when other kids her age are in school and hanging out at the mall. Skating takes over everything.
I think she's missing out on like the normal like having sleepovers and just having like friends to go to like movies with. Like now it's harder and like because she doesn't have just those friends who don't do sports. She just has those friends that do sports, and it's harder to go to movies and hang out with them because some do night skating and then they have to be up in the morning, so then they can't go out.
4, 5, 6.
Her friends are her skating friends. Next year, this circle of friends will likely expand when she joins other athletes at the National Sports School at Canada Olympic Park. Marley says she thinks the sacrifices have been worth it.
Because lots of 14-year-olds just like, they hang out with their friends and they don't really know what they're doing yet. They kind of know